Can you believe this? The very thing you take every morning, thinking it's helping you stay strong, may actually be the reason your legs are getting weaker. But no one's warning you about it. Every day, millions of older adults take vitamins with the best intentions to protect their bones, boost energy, and stay active longer. And for years, we've been told that's the smart thing to do. But what if I told you that some of those same supplements, the ones sitting right now on your kitchen counter, could be quietly robbing you of your strength, balance, and independence? This isn't a theory. After more than a decade of working closely with seniors, I've seen it happen over and over again. People who were walking fine suddenly start struggling to get up from a chair. People who used to take long walks now feel wiped out after a trip to the mailbox. They chalk it up to aging, but it's not always age. Often, it's an overload of certain vitamins disrupting their muscles, nerves, and circulation. These are pills you'd never suspect because they're marketed as healthy. But more isn't always better. In fact, when the body gets too much of certain nutrients, especially without balancing minerals or medical need, it begins to break down in ways that feel frustrating and hard to explain. So if your legs have felt heavier, if you're getting cramps even when you're hydrated, or if you've been feeling less stable on your feet, it may not be your age. It might be your supplements. And here's the shocking part. In this video, I'm going to show you the top 5 vitamins that could be silently weakening your legs. These are nutrients that most people think are safe, even essential, but in the wrong dose or without proper balance, they could be doing the opposite of what you intend. If you felt any of these symptoms, take a moment and drop a 1 in the comments, or 0 if not. Your story might help someone else realize they're not alone. And if this message resonates with you, if it makes you rethink what you're putting into your body each day, don't forget to hit the like button so more people can see it. And subscribe if you care about protecting your mobility, strength, and independence as you age. Because what comes next might surprise you. We're about to talk about one of the most common supplements recommended to seniors. It's praised for building bones, but what you haven't been told is how it might be quietly draining your muscle power from the inside out. Let's talk about calcium. 1. Calcium supplements, the unexpected risk to your muscles. Let's be honest, for most of your life, you've probably been told that calcium is non-negotiable. Doctors, magazines, even friends and family have repeated it like gospel. Take your calcium or your bones will crumble. And understandably, many older adults take that advice to heart. But here's what most people aren't told. Too much calcium, especially from supplements, may actually be weakening your muscles and draining the strength from your legs. Now, this doesn't happen overnight. It starts subtly. You might feel a little stiffness when you climb the stairs, or your legs feel heavier than usual when you stand up. Maybe you brush it off as aging, dehydration, or a long day. But what I've seen again and again is that excess calcium, without the right mineral balance, quietly disrupts how your muscles work. Here's why. Calcium plays a critical role in muscle contraction, but it doesn't act alone. It must be carefully balanced with magnesium, which helps your muscles relax after they contract. When there's too much calcium and not enough magnesium, a very common scenario in supplement-heavy routines, your muscles become tense, less responsive, and prone to cramping. And it gets worse. Over time, excess calcium in the bloodstream may calcify arteries, reducing blood flow, especially to the legs. That means your muscles aren't getting enough oxygen and nutrients, which leads to chronic fatigue, poor circulation, and legs that give out faster than they should. I once worked with a client in her mid-70s who took calcium tablets religiously, believing it was protecting her bones. But she kept complaining of constant leg aches, especially after just short walks. When we reviewed her supplements, she was taking more than double the recommended calcium intake, with almost no magnesium. We adjusted her plan, focused on diet-first calcium sources, and within weeks, her energy returned, and the cramps stopped. So what should you do instead? First, don't assume you need a calcium supplement just because you're older. Many people already get enough from dairy, leafy greens, almonds, or fortified foods. And even if you need a boost, what matters more is the team of nutrients working together, especially magnesium, vitamin D, and vitamin K2. These ensure that calcium actually goes to your bones, not your arteries or soft tissues. Before you reach for another tablet, pause and ask yourself, is this really helping my strength? Or could it be quietly holding me back? Because sometimes less is more, especially when your body is already trying to tell you something. And calcium isn't the only hidden culprit. The next supplement on our list is one many people believe boosts energy, but for older adults it may be slowly exhausting your muscles from the inside. Let's talk about iron. 2. Iron supplements, a hidden cause of muscle fatigue. When we think about iron, we usually think of strength. It's what carries oxygen in your blood, helps fight fatigue, and keeps your energy levels up. So naturally, many older adults assume that taking an iron supplement is a smart move, especially if they feel tired or a little run down. But here's the truth that surprised even some of my most health-conscious clients. Most seniors don't need extra iron at all, and too much of it may actually make you weaker. Iron overload is far more common in older adults than iron deficiency. Unlike younger bodies, which often lose iron through menstruation or intense activity, seniors typically absorb iron efficiently and excrete it very slowly. So when you add a supplement on top of an already iron-rich diet, think lean meat, spinach, or fortified cereals, you may be unknowingly building up excess iron in your body's tissues, including your muscles. I once met a 78-year-old gentleman who complained of constant fatigue in his legs. He exercised, ate well, took supplements, including a daily multivitamin with iron, but still felt like his legs were made of sand. After checking his ferritin levels, we discovered his iron stores were way too high. That iron wasn't giving him strength, it was oxidizing his tissues, damaging his muscle fibers, and making recovery harder after activity. Here's how it works. Iron is a highly reactive mineral. In the right amount, it supports healthy blood flow. But when it accumulates, it creates oxidative stress, releasing free radicals that inflame muscles and interfere with their ability to contract and repair. This means your legs may tire faster, ache longer, and feel unusually heavy, even after light activity. Worse yet, excess iron can also block the absorption of magnesium, a critical mineral for muscle relaxation. Without it, your legs become stiff, cramp-prone, and difficult to control. That's why some people wake up in the middle of the night with painful leg cramps and never suspect that an energy-boosting supplement is behind it. So here's the big takeaway. Unless your doctor has diagnosed you with an iron deficiency through blood work, you probably don't need an iron supplement. The risks of iron overload, especially for seniors, often outweigh the benefits. Instead, focus on absorbing iron properly through food. Pair iron-rich meals with a source of vitamin C, like bell peppers or citrus fruits, to help your body take in just the right amount without going overboard. If you've been feeling unexplained fatigue, heaviness in your legs, or cramps that don't seem to go away, don't just assume it's your age. Ask yourself, could my body be struggling with too much of a good thing? Because just like calcium, iron can be a silent thief of strength. And speaking of silent threats, the next supplement is one that many seniors take for heart and brain health, but it may be disrupting your balance and coordination in ways you never expected. Let's talk about vitamin E. 3. Vitamin E, the surprising threat to your leg strength. Vitamin E is often seen as a kind of miracle nutrient. It's widely praised for its antioxidant power, its support for heart and brain health, and its ability to promote youthful skin. Many older adults include it in their daily routine, believing it's helping them age gracefully. But few realize that too much vitamin E, especially in supplement form, can quietly erode leg strength and undermine balance, creating risks that feel like aging but are actually avoidable. Your body does need vitamin E. It helps protect your cells from oxidative damage. But just like iron, too much of a good thing can throw the entire system off balance. I once worked with a woman in her early 80s who had started taking a high-dose vitamin E capsule daily after reading that it was anti-aging. Within 2 months, she reported increased bruising, a strange sense of dizziness, and felt like she was floating when she walked. Her balance was off. She had no idea it might be tied to her supplement. Here's the science. When taken in high doses, vitamin E can interfere with vitamin K, a nutrient essential for proper blood clotting and muscle function. When vitamin K levels are suppressed, your muscles don't get the blood flow and nutrient delivery they need to stay strong and responsive. That leads to weakness, poor coordination, and slower recovery, especially in the legs. But there's more. Vitamin E is also a natural blood thinner, and while mild thinning may help circulation, excessive thinning can result in dizziness, lightheadedness, and unstable movement, particularly dangerous for those already at risk of falls. If you've ever stood up and felt a sudden sense of imbalance or had that uneasy feeling in your legs without knowing why, it might not be your nerves, your joints, or your heart. It could be an overload of vitamin E silently interfering with your neuromuscular control. Research has shown that older adults taking high-dose vitamin E supplements are at increased risk of falls and mobility issues. The irony? Many people take it to prevent exactly those problems. The solution isn't to cut out vitamin E altogether. It's to get it from natural food sources like almonds, sunflower seeds, spinach, and avocados, where it comes in safe, balanced amounts your body can regulate. Supplements often contain doses far beyond what's naturally needed, and the body doesn't always know what to do with the excess. Before popping another vitamin E capsule, ask yourself, is this really helping me stay youthful? Or could it be the reason my legs feel unstable, my steps feel uncertain, and my confidence is slowly slipping away? Because sometimes the things we trust most can work against us, not out of malice, but out of imbalance. And vitamin E isn't the only supplement that works like this. In fact, the next one on our list is even more deceptive. It's essential for bone health, immune support, and muscle strength, yet when taken in excess, it can stiffen your muscles, drain your energy, and turn your legs into anchors. Let's talk about vitamin D. 4. Vitamin D, the double-edged sword for muscle health. Vitamin D is often called the sunshine vitamin, and for good reason. It plays a vital role in bone density, immune support, and yes, muscle strength. For older adults, maintaining proper vitamin D levels is critical. But just like with other nutrients, more isn't always better, and in some cases, taking too much vitamin D may be quietly robbing your legs of their natural power. I remember working with a 76-year-old gentleman who took a high-dose vitamin D supplement every day, thinking it would help his joints and muscles. But after several months, he started experiencing tightness in his legs, nighttime cramps, and a strange sense of fatigue after even light walking. His blood work showed elevated calcium levels, and that's when it all clicked. Here's the biology behind it. Vitamin D helps your body absorb calcium from food and supplements. That's normally a good thing. But when you take too much vitamin D, especially without checking your levels first, it can lead to a condition called hypercalcemia, or too much calcium in the bloodstream. And that's where things go wrong. Instead of sending calcium to your bones, your body begins to deposit it into soft tissues and muscles, causing stiffness, pain, and decreased mobility, particularly in the legs. But that's not all. Vitamin D in excess can also throw off your body's balance of magnesium and potassium, two minerals critical for muscle function and relaxation. Without enough of these, your muscles become overactive, prone to twitching, spasms, and fatigue. It's a hidden chain reaction that leaves many people blaming age when the real culprit is sitting quietly in their supplement drawer. Another problem? Many seniors assume they're vitamin D deficient and start supplementing without testing. But in reality, if you eat fortified foods, dairy, or spend even a little time in the sun, you may already be getting plenty. Add a high-dose supplement on top of that, and it's easy to tip into excess without ever realizing it. So what's the right move? Don't supplement blindly. Get your vitamin D levels tested. And if you do need a boost, consider smaller doses or food-based sources like salmon, sardines, egg yolks, and fortified milk. These provide a steady, natural supply your body can handle without tipping the balance. If your legs have felt heavier than usual, if you've had nighttime cramps that wake you up, or unexplained exhaustion in your lower body, take a hard look at your vitamin D intake. Because too much of it can drain the very strength you're trying to preserve. And yet, as surprising as this may sound, the next vitamin on our list is even more dangerous when overused. It's one many people take for nerve health, energy, and mental clarity. But taken in excess, it can numb your feet, disrupt your balance, and slowly chip away at your ability to walk with confidence. Let's talk about vitamin B6. 5. Vitamin B6 causes numbness and loss of feeling in your legs. Tingling feet, unsteady steps, a strange numbness creeping up your legs. Many seniors assume these are just part of getting older. But what if the real reason is something sitting quietly in your medicine cabinet? You might be taking it every day without a second thought, believing it's helping your brain or boosting your energy. But in truth, it could be slowly chipping away at your mobility. That's exactly what happens with vitamin B6 when it's taken in excess, a fact that still surprises far too many people. Vitamin B6, also known as pyridoxine, is essential for nerve health and energy metabolism. It's involved in converting food into fuel and supporting communication between nerves and muscles. But here's the shocking part. Too much vitamin B6 can cause a condition called sensory neuropathy, which damages the very nerves that allow your brain to sense where your legs are, how they move, and whether they're in contact with the ground. I've worked with multiple seniors who complained of walking on cushions or feeling like they had no awareness of their feet, only to discover that they had been unknowingly overdosing on B6 through daily multivitamins, fortified foods, and energy supplements. The problem is, vitamin B6 doesn't always get flushed out of your system as quickly as you'd expect. It's water-soluble, yes, but it accumulates over time when consumed in high doses, especially in older adults with slower metabolism or reduced liver function. And because it's included in so many products, from brain boosters to protein powders to fortified cereals, it's easy to exceed safe limits without ever realizing it. Over time, this leads to nerve inflammation and damage, especially in the legs and feet. The symptoms start subtly: a little tingling in your toes, a strange buzzing sensation, maybe a sense that you're not as stable on your feet. But then they grow: numbness, poor coordination, difficulty balancing on uneven surfaces, and eventually the terrifying feeling of losing control of your own lower body. One of my patients once said, "I feel like I'm walking in someone else's shoes." That's the cruel irony. You take B6 to stay sharp and energetic, but it slowly silences your nerves. And because it happens so gradually, most people don't realize the damage until it's advanced. The good news? You don't need high-dose B6 to stay healthy. Most people get more than enough through food: bananas, fish, poultry, potatoes. Unless a doctor has diagnosed a specific deficiency, there's rarely a reason to supplement with high levels. So if your legs have been feeling off, if you've noticed numbness, burning, or balance issues without an obvious cause, don't ignore it. Ask yourself, could this be a sign of vitamin B6 overload? Because when it comes to your legs, every step matters. And now that we've uncovered how these 5 common supplements, calcium, iron, vitamin E, vitamin D, and vitamin B6, can silently work against you, it's time to shift the conversation. The real question isn't just what to avoid, it's how to rebuild your strength, restore your confidence, and move forward without fear. Let's talk about what to do instead, and how to protect your legs for the long run. What if everything you thought was helping your legs was actually holding them back? It's a tough question, I know, especially when you've spent years doing your best, listening to advice, following what seemed like common sense. But as we've uncovered today, the path to strong, steady legs in your 60s, 70s, and beyond doesn't come from taking more pills. It comes from making smarter, more informed choices. Vitamins like calcium, iron, vitamin E, vitamin D, and B6 aren't inherently bad, but when taken in excess or without medical need, they can work against your muscles, your nerves, and your ability to move confidently each day. And this isn't theory. After working with hundreds of older adults over the last decade, I've seen this silent pattern play out again and again. People who start taking supplements to stay strong, only to find themselves more tired, more unsteady, and more frustrated with each passing month. It's heartbreaking because their intentions were good. But strength doesn't come from a bottle. It comes from balance, from understanding how nutrients interact, from trusting your body's signals, and from respecting the limits of what it truly needs. Real strength, the kind that lets you stand up from a chair without effort, walk through your day without fear of falling, and live with independence, comes from a lifestyle that supports your muscles, not shortcuts that silently undermine them. And the best part? It's never too late to shift. If you've been relying on high-dose vitamins without checking your actual needs, this is your moment to pause and ask, why am I taking this? Is it still serving me? Get your levels tested. Focus on whole foods. Rebuild from the inside out. And if this video gave you even a single light bulb moment, if it made you rethink something you do every day, I want to hear from you. Drop a 1 in the comments if any of this resonated with your experience. Or comment 0 if you haven't noticed these effects yet. Either way, your story matters, and someone else might read it and finally feel understood. While you're there, please like this video. It helps YouTube show this to more seniors who truly need this knowledge. And don't leave without hitting subscribe, because in the next video we're going beyond what to avoid. We're diving into the exact foods, habits, and movements that rebuild leg strength naturally, safely, and effectively. If you're ready to walk stronger, feel steadier, and live with more confidence, that video is for you. Because yes, supplements may have let you down, but your body, it hasn't given up on you. You just need to give it the right kind of support, and together we'll make sure you do. Before you go, I want you to pause for just a moment and reflect. Have you ever taken any of these 5 vitamins thinking they were protecting your health, only to later notice your legs growing weaker, more tired, or less stable? So, you're not alone. That's why I created this video, not to scare you, but to help you finally see the connection between the supplements you trust and the silent changes in your body that no one talks about. If you've experienced any of these symptoms, please comment 1 below. And if you haven't, comment 0. Why? Because your story could help someone else watching right now feel seen, heard, and no longer confused about what they're going through. You may be that one voice that makes a difference in someone else's journey. And if you're still here, that tells me one thing: you care. You care about protecting your legs, your independence, and your ability to walk, move, and live fully, no matter your age. So if this video gave you even one new insight, something you didn't know before, please take 2 seconds to click the like button. It tells YouTube this is important, and it pushes the video out to other seniors who might be struggling in silence right now. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell icon, because in the next video, I'll be revealing the top 5 nutrients that actually rebuild leg strength naturally. No high-risk pills required. We'll dive into foods, movements, and daily habits that work with your body, not against it. You don't want to miss it. And let me say this again: your legs do not have to fade with age. Weakness is not inevitable. With the right knowledge, the right actions, and the right mindset, you can stay strong, steady, and independent well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. I've seen it happen over and over again. But it starts with awareness, and that's what you just gained today. So thank yourself for being here, for listening, and for taking your health seriously. There are millions of seniors who deserve to know what you now know. Let's reach them together. Comment below, share this with someone you care about, and don't leave without hitting that subscribe button. And finally, here's one last question to leave you thinking. What if everything you thought was helping your legs was actually holding them back? And what if the solution isn't more pills, but smarter choices, starting today? See you in the next video. We've only just begun.